For the king.
For the king.
For the monk.
For the monk.
Akeem, you're feeling. Akeem, you're feeling.
I'm sorry, boss.
You're feeling me. 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 What's going on? All your on level virus right now. People have to sleep. People have to go to work. People have Machel album to go on.
Sleep.
Nothing. Hey, what's that?
What is
Hey,
the
Ole, what's that? Akeem hot right now, you know. You can't take it, you know. You can't. He dying to see me, you know.
My pepper boss. My pepper boss.
Wapnin. Big up voice.
Oh.
You see what I tell you? It's like Braveheart. You ever watch Braveheart?
Nah.
When Mel Gibson, only too young to know these movies. Man and them do so. The man and them do so. And he had his sword on them, and 300 men coming behind them. 300 men is about 30 of them alone. And the men coming, and he men want to know, boss, attack them now. And you need balling. Wait.
Not yet.
Wait. And as the men reach up on them, he say, no!
Oh my.
All the too young to know what them movies talk now.
Penny,
All the young and all the vibrant, all the very vibrant.
Yeah, we charge our energy, you know. We like you when you sing too young to soca. Remember them days?
Something.
Yeah.
You know what's the funniest thing? How will they get Salty to talk, boy? Salty talking. I find Salty girl talkative, quiet man. Salty is only the switch on when he's micing, you know. And beyond Salty, will they get Travis to talk, boy?
Well,
Travis, boy?
Well, Travis
shock the world.
Yeah.
Travis break out of his shell.
Yeah, you ain't see TikTok and then we doing?
Yeah, of course. I've seen him. I watched him very closely. I hope you're all right. Travis, you all right? Woman worries her.
Not enough. I don't know.
Travis, look, Travis, look.
Hey!
I'm giving you your flowers, Travis. I'm giving you your flowers. All right, so let's talk to me. My
What
wife,
is
my
he
wife,
seeing? What is he?
my wife upstairs wants to get Stevie, you know.
You lie.
No, you're lying. Nah, you know what you're really doing there, boy.
So boy,
Boy,
I see him.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
She take off that.
Aye. Oh, shame on number 8.
Boy, like you living up there by yourself.
This kind of life, your wife is saying, honey, when you come into bed, I don't hear, hold on, baby, I don't hear voice on them. What? Voice on them.
Voice know about that.
Yeah. Voice know about that.
Voice know about that.
For sure. I'll call him back there.
You're going back there.
I'm dipping out.
Watch that. Today's March 19. Where's the vibes? How the album drop ready?
The album dropped long time. The album dropped 12 midnight. I just come off a 3 hours on Clubhouse with some of the best people in the world. My first time on Clubhouse tonight. Today was also my first day on Cameo. And I do about 16 Cameo already. Big up all the people around the world for reaching out. And, you know, today was a good day. Today was a day that I decided to just come out the hole a little bit. That's how they get to see me now, you know what I mean? I don't come out the hole much. You know?
Now you don't
know.
realize, you know, Penny, you know, long. In a life. Wait, not yet.
Braveheart.
Not yet, voice. Not yet. I say, oh God, the people and them calling for you. Not yet. You know what you were doing? Now, but how was the process coming up and that kind of thing?
Coming up where?
With
Say
the
again?
album, how was with the album? What was the process like? How long did it take you?
Well, really and truly, this album was really supposed to be my 2020 album. And when I had this show called The Wedding, I was going to put out the album called The Wedding Album. And it was a whole set of all the songs that I had last year during Carnival. That was the album and a couple of songs. And we was gonna release it right after Carnival because we were so busy with the show. But then we kind of decide that how my Wi-Fi working good?
Boy,
Nah.
the real fighting out there. I was
All
going
it-
on
all
pause
it-
there.
I don't think it's my Wi-Fi.
Audio commentary.
Audio,
You sure?
Yeah.
You what? Say
the
again?
audio perfect, but
You're blurry. You're blurry.
Uh-huh. Hold on, eh? Let me see what's going on here. Hold on, fellas. Hold on.
come out and go on your normal thing.
You can't really what?
Boy still in the bush.
No, but I nearly commend the boss. When he come on,
For what? The clean.
the clarity that he was playing first.
Yeah.
The clarity when the boss was playing first. Para.
Like black screen. And watch out, you play a Machel when you was in secondary school or something more.
But we
Yeah, but the real
yeah,
cool, eh?
I swear.
Yeah, bring you back.
Yeah. I feel the boss had to come back. Oh, you cannot
I want
reach.
the only one penny.
Hold on, young boy. You cannot reach your horizon without leaving the shore. Hold on. You really cannot reach your horizon without leaving the shore.
You can't.
And I find like you start to try to reach your horizon without leaving the shore. We back. I really like how they dealing with the boy. We back? Awesome.
Yeah. See it.
Well,
This is
how it looking?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
better
awesome.
than now. You better than now.
You see, and this is what you have to talk to Digicel because this is the kind of service we're supposed to be getting. You know what I mean? And we're under pressure here right now. I don't think this is Digicel.
boy, don't say
I
nothing
don't-
about no talk.
No, but I don't
get
think
this right now.
this is not
I ready for
Digicel
the-
though. This is
You
not
know free
Digicel.
service. My free services were going on so boy. What voice he taking? Voice clear because he's not paying.
Yeah. This I was hoping for Digicel, but this is not Digicel right now. So we'll give it the best.
Boy.
Ole hear me though? Ole hear me?
Yeah. You're good now. You're good.
You're good.
Boy,
Alright, good.
we hear you like we hear you tomorrow.
True? Right now?
Nah, you're good now. We good now.
Right.
We
Alright, so
hear you tomorrow. Boss, we hearing you.
voice. It's
Yo.
your fault. It's your fault that you unleash Akim on the world, eh? You're responsible. Voice again.
I
Yeah,
say, you get what?
You get your break, Akim. You get your break.
I thank him every single day.
But yeah, let me get back to the album now, fellas. Let's go back to the album. Right?
Yeah.
You hear me, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we are
man.
good.
You hear me? So
Yeah.
so this album was about to be released right after Carnival, after the wedding, and it was made up all the Carnival songs and whatever. And COVID come, and we decided to dress back a little bit. I was already planning to take 2020, kind of slow and lay back and do some in-house housekeeping, honeymooning, enjoying my life and my wife. And I think when we decided to come back with the album and drop it in 2021, Chi and I was just thinking, yo, let me just forget these old songs and, put some of them that we think relevant, but try and bring out some of the new songs. And I remember voice you calling me and asking me, yo, what we doing with One of a Kind? Because One of a Kind is a song we have about what 5 years now, 6 years now. Waiting to release and waiting for the right moment. And we just feel like we wanted songs that was a departure from Fete and Carnival. We feel like this was an opportunity we get to kind of venture out. And my whole concept was I feel love was important. We have a lot of topics about love that we could touch on with men, with the world, with relationship, and I feel like I wanted to take the chance, to take a risk and just put out some songs that had nothing to do with Carnival and Voice. You yourself also mentioned that to me when you had called me first. You had said, yo, I want to kind of, do some things a little different. And we always wanting to do it and, still studying how to live, how to eat, how to provide for the soca crowd and the Carnival crowd. And it really takes a lot of guts to hold back. For me to miss a Carnival, I miss about 2 Carnivals already. And I always remember men like I were telling me, if you do that, you can't come back. It's always feel like a trap. That if you can't venture out into something different, and sometimes people really like when you do that if you're brave enough to do it. So this album was kind of just a little difference to me to just express something different. So
Well,
actually, yeah. Actually, to answer your question, a lot of these songs on this album was songs that I had sitting down. As a man have about 200 songs in our vault, just waiting for the right moment to release them and collaborations to work on. And there were, enough music on box that on release, things that you work on and you're just waiting for the right time to be able to express them. So I just had to put out some of those songs and put out some of the new songs. There was a lot of artists who I look up to, like yourself, and I was just mentioning that on Clubhouse. You will see me introducing a lot of young artists, and they're like, hey, Choppy, giving them the platform. People like Lou City, who's 2 artists who signed to Monk right now, Choppy and Lou City out of St. Lucia, and working with people like Stacey Bart, who write Bronx Skin Girl for Beyonce. She on there, Teddy Riley and Jay Styles from Blackstreet, he on there. It's just about just taking a little difference and taking time to try something else,
What songs are there?
I do have, by show out, I do have 200. I don't even have a.
I have about 2 or 3 in there.
So
I ain't think quantity is the key. With you, quality is the key. It's not about quantity, but every time you hit one and you're able to just draw a good one, and a good one can take you through the season, and I think you're drawing good ones. So it's not really necessary about quantity, but when you start to work, like how much I just work, it's like so much music that just back up there,
Yeah.
boy, so that where Travis get out from because he vote 2 are we taking this Carnival and we end up with nothing.
Yeah, and Travis know that if it ain't good enough, we putting it to rest. Music do rotten, and you have to take your time and say, if it ain't good enough, I would take that song with me and Voice. I want to work on that song forever. That One of a Kind vibe is something crazy, and it's an introduction, but you have to. Sometimes it's better to hold it back and work on it till you get it right. Or they look my cameo requests coming in, people sending in requests. Or they go on cameo and request me. I working whole night. There we go.
The Iron Man.
But Machel is saying it wrong. It's not that they're not good enough. They're just not ready yet. Okay, you tell them, I feel it too not good enough. It's just that they're not ready yet, Akeem.
No, because at the end, the man living in the wilderness after Boss Wine. Oh, you could shelf tune from Salty. How to shelf tune from Salty after Boss Wine?
What realize Travis doing, boy? Since I feel as you, but
of course
I realize what you doing. I realize what you doing now is business first now, but he taking no. When they go pay my next year now, he going through that again.
Yeah.
Is you get a
Akin and them must be trying to trust tune.
right?
I already do. trust in God.
No,
Trust in
but Salty also bust Travis too, eh?
Bible says trust in God. Who's Travis? We must trust in He too.
I ain't able with Akim philosophy, you know. I ain't able. With it. But watch me.
Watch now. I want to ask.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Let me just say something about Travis. Travis, you know, do study TikTok and thing these days, but Travis is a very quiet, conscious youth. Don't let the TikTok fool you. He's a quiet, conscious youth, and he is think a lot. So he know, and I teach him that about, you know, getting it right and getting his song right and putting a good thing out now. You know what I mean? But go ahead, boys. Go ahead.
About the horizon.
Eh?
Yeah. Horizon.
You cannot reach the horizon if you don't leave the shore.
Exactly. That's what Travis doing with it. He said, while I in the water waiting for Travis, Travis said he on the shore.
And you ready to flowers.
You
ready to blossom.
He waited the blues.
We say Travis boy, you check what?
have patience. So I have a lot of patience with music. Voice is the same way too, you know. Voice go back and forth,
Well, boy, the way how Travis going, we going to end up 200 songs shelving.
Nah. But only have something special. So these are special one. And I know Travis rate him and respect him. And I know Akim, Salty have your, Salty Akim have your back. Because I see him fighting fair. Remember that night outside Fast when Private Ryan playing the rhythm for me and you reach up on Private Ryan and say, yo, swam to my artist. Oh, Private Ryan.
It's everywhere Ryan getting bad up then.
Wow, Voicey.
Voice
wow,
size are low,
Voicey.
Voice size are low.
So it's all clubs. Wow, Voicey.
No, I didn't know about that. I just asked him a question.
Voicey.
Nobody hear this now.
Ryan is my boy.
Yeah. Ryan is the boy. Machel, hear this now.
Yeah.
What is your where's your drive? What is wake you up every morning and say soca 100%, 365 days of the year? Why you have this passion for it so like, you know what I mean? And we work together, see a work ethic. Is a man will go back and forth. So yeah, that one of a kind. But we have about 18 next up. What is this?
Over and over.
Raise up, load on that. The backgrounds were in the phone. Copy and paste and put it down. So voice a little timid. So lift him up. Think. What is giving this drive? What is motivate you?
Life. Let me tell you something about life. Life is a real divine and miraculous thing. What you're walking around with, this piece of life you're walking around with, it's so multifaceted, it's so magnanimous if you really try to understand it.
I don't know what magnanimous mean.
Me either.
It's so intricate, it's so complex, it has so much to understand, it's so vast, it's so magnificent. You ain't really know nothing that you might think, having a little fame or having a little success or having a little money is exciting and is great. But if you really understand how this functioning, you will really be on it 100. And I had the opportunity to understand it from a young age. And so when I get up and I go to work, I always give it my best, because when I give life, if you pay attention to life just pay attention to you. You understand? I just drop these little statements for you to understand. If you pay more attention to life, it will pay more attention to you. And sometimes you might think you're just here as a human being. You're just here as a human being to make money or to have a family, or you're thinking on the surface. But if you're going and you understand it, so every morning I get up to pay attention to life now, what it wants, what it calling for. And every time it is just tell me, go deeper, go harder, go more. And then I started to learn now it's all about service to people now. When you start to serve people on a level that you're seeing what happening in their life. You know what I mean? As a man get to spend a carnival. This carnival we spend together, Salty and Akeem and them. And I know how good they're feeling coming in the dressing room every night now. I know how they're feeling important. I know they're feeling loved. I know they're feeling respected. I serving them like that now. And just seeing that, you know, you could see, man, you just want to work. You just want to get up and work. I ain't even scratched the surface. You see, everything that people see about Machel Montano, the last 20 years, I about to make the next 20 years now. And that 20 years that you see, the last 20, and really and truly only next year, I celebrating 40 years in the music business. I started in 1982. So I ain't even dealing with the first 20. I'm dealing with the last 20. I'm talking about 10 road march in the last 20 years. That is not an easy feat. But understand now that the next 20 be in shape now. And the next 20 going and be in, so we're looking 47 years old. You understand?
They calling you.
Bop.
What they calling you?
I seen her lady asking where's Machel's skincare routine. I seen her set her up.
Water. I don't eat meat. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke cigarette. I don't do no drugs. And I'm meditating every single day.
You gotta teach Redo that, boy.
You understand?
You gotta teach Redo that.
Who's your?
Redo, who you said me? The Redo that.
Ooh. Don't bring me the back. Yeah. What's that?
Who call him inside? Water and powder.
I want to ask you something, right? This been bothering me for, I wouldn't say very long, but for the past 2 years or so when I really start to focus on, you know, get into the art form on a different level. What do you think is the reason for soca not being, you know, recognized by the world on that level where, you know, we could be in a Grammys, we could be in a BET Music Awards, we could be top 10 Billboard, like for that to be the norm. What is the reason for that? Because I honestly believe that songs like Justin Bieber, Sorry, and it are plenty Drake, they do soca, they just don't call it soca. But they already they did soca though. They did soca. So my thing is, I want to know what you feel, what it is holding us back.
Well, I think we make soca for ourselves. We don't really make soca for the world. We make soca for a specific purpose. We make soca for carnival. We make soca for behind the truck. We make soca for people to wine in our fete. You know, we don't. Sometimes we might stay off and make an album about love. Sometimes we might stay off and write a conscious soca about a story, but we always bring it back. You know, Voice, you are a man that's write very prolific ideas and you write songs that have far from finish and have deep concepts, but you always bring it back to making people dance and whine and jump and wave, which I'm not saying nothing wrong with that, but that is synonymous with carnival, and carnival is seasonal. So it's like if we directly always making seasonal, and a lot of the artists was saying now that we had COVID and we do have to make music for carnival, we could use this opportunity to write wide and write about other things and sing about other things, and everybody went back and write about carnival. And I'm not saying that we don't understand it, but you see muscle memory and you see a habit is hard to break. And a lot of us functioning compulsively, which means we're just doing what our body needs to do. And part of it too is with soca, we don't have it easy, you know. They don't really realize that we making our album within, let me say, end of October to December. I doing an album in that little small space of time to release for January every year. I'm not doing like Usher and Michael Jackson and taking 3 years to make an album, go on tour and then rest. People expect us to be every year and you must bring a hit. And if you don't bring a hit, they vex with you and they say you're singing shit this year and they're quick to say they don't know how hard it is to deliver a hit all the time. So really and truly is a catch-22. You know, the poison is the cure, how they say it. You know, is like the damn if you do, damn if you don't. And I feel like if like that's what I say, I dressing back this year and I giving the young people a chance. As soon as I dress back and I giving young people a chance, people vex at Machel and out there, Machel and out there. Something when I out there, I taking up all the airspace. I too out there, you know, and I feel like maybe 2021 could be voice own, and maybe I could wait out 2022 and drop an album in 2023, and that could be my own. If we take more time to spend on the music and develop our product, and we have to be real with ourselves. Our standards need to be higher. As a man, when I become Machel Montano HD, I make it my whole life. I raising the standards. I helping artists get better dressing rooms, get food in the dressing rooms, get big screen, get higher pay, get more respect, get their own show. I keep raising the standard and trying to do it not for me, but for everybody following. You know, when I start to do it, sometimes people vex. Oh, he's charging too much money, he's doing this, he's doing that. But I want them to respect the artist and not just me, respect the artists who coming back. So the most important thing is when I went to HD, ask Casey, I said, Casey, I want the song to be cleaner, mix. I want the vocals to be better. I want the albums. I want to focus on albums. And I feel a lot of people wasn't focusing on bringing up the standard. We have to bring up our standard. Right now, a lot of soca mixing in the bedroom. A lot of our music here mixing in the bedroom, and we don't even see a ISSL mixing board or a Neve mixing board, or we don't go and sit down and rent a studio. We don't even have the money to do it. We don't have nobody support us. I had a meeting today about building a state-of-the-art studio here in Toko, not for me, but for the artists, for them to be able to come, rent the whole property, have the writing camp, and mix in an area that they could get to a high level and compete on a high level. We can't just sit down and say the Grammys had to give us it. We can't just sit down and say the iTunes had to give us our category. They don't want to give it to us. We had to take it. We had to get it. You know what I mean? I had a meeting. You ever watch this Netflix documentary on this man named Clarence Avant, who is the godfather of music? You see Beyonce, you see everybody talk about it, Jamie Foxx, Jay-Z, everybody. I was fortunate enough last year or 2 years ago to have a meeting with Clarence Avant. And this man is like the godfather of black music. Obama, everybody's singing in praises. And Clarence Avant sit down with me and say, Machel, this game is about numbers. This game is about numbers. I used to be in the days when certain artists used to line outside 96.1 with cutlass. And they want to chop them because they're playing this song. And they want to run up on them because the DJs ain't playing this song. I still have artists come to me and say, boy, pressure for these small artists. They want to play with, they want to play. I was in that position that they didn't want to play me. And I decide I'm not going to be in friend with no DJ to get my song play. I'm not going to carry no rum for them to get my song play. I go in and do the work that they must want to call me for my song. And I go and put in the work.
Well, let me say something now. Let me say something, right?
Yeah.
Understand why I find there's a bigger problem than just us and releasing the music, right? Because sometimes, right, when an artist take the time to actually say, you know what, I go in and move away a little bit from the wine and jam and the hand in the air, and I go in and try and put soca in a different mindset. I want to do it on a different level. I'm going to say, here what? I want to do soca where the world could, right? Sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes the people don't really want that to know. The people cool with just having soca as carnival related songs only. They wine and jam, they run up and down, throw something in the air, carry. Like we mentally, the people They love that now. So when you come with different songs that, could connect with outside but not really giving you that festive vibe, they don't really like it. They're not doing the same numbers like the other songs. So what are we to do?
I understand that, but you have to understand something. You have to stay the course. You can't be swayed by what people think. It's not going to happen in 1 year. It's not going to happen in one song. It's not going to happen in 3 songs. You're going to have to stay the course and stay at it. And you're going to have to be prepared to fail once, fail twice, fail 3 times, because this is not an easy thing. Soca is established. Soca is established as what it is, and it's jump and wave and whine. If you go in and stay to do something different to change, when Shorty I first do soca, they burn him out. They burn him out because he tried to mix Indian and African. The Indian tell him that Indian people say you're making sacrilege, or you're taking our music for a joke, and then the black people tell him you're trying to be Indian. But he had songs like Shanty Home, and he went on and he figured out, what I'll do? I will hide the Indian music in the bass. He take the doom doom, and he put it here, doom doom. I am saying, this is what I had to do, bro. I had to take time off, and right now I on time off to figure out what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't have the answers, but I know if I have the right people around me, and I don't like to play I know. I like to be brave enough and vulnerable enough to say I don't know, but I know. If we decide to go in the studio together and we decide to set it as a goal together, and I can't do it alone. I need your expertise. I need you to come and write with me. But guess what I need you to do? I need you to take a year off a carnival, or take a 2 years off and come in the studio, and I need to get people to fund us, and let me give you my knowledge, and let you give me your technology, because monk means movement of now knowing. What we now know, we didn't know then. We didn't know then, but we know it now. And now is the time for soca, But remember, when Justin Bieber jump on a soca beat, they have the whole backing of the writing of some of the top writers in the world. We need to collaborate with them. We need to work with somebody. That's why I work with Stacey Bart on my album that dropped tonight. She write Brown Skin Girl for Beyonce. She write for Nipsey Hussle. She write for John Legend. And she's Haitian. And she working with Beyonce, and she working with Diddy right now. And, I have a song on the album called Get Away with Her. I know what it takes. And my back broad, people is be on social media burning me out. Why ain't do a virtual? Why ain't do a live? Why? Because I focusing on something else. Now is the time for you and Salty and all the young artists to do this. This is all the time to run all your leg. I go and run the 4th leg like you saying.
Right.
So voice. What I'm saying is, I share your sentiment. When you sing the conscious things, and when we try to move away from carnival, people don't take it on. It don't become hits. I sing one of my best songs I like is On My Way. I went quite Egypt and make a video, and it's the best work I ever do, and it's where I want. They wouldn't pay attention to it during me from doing that song. That don't stop me from putting a song like that on my album every year. And that not stopping me now from stepping back and dedicating that. I really reach a point where Machel Montano do get it right. I'm willing to stay in at it until I get it right. And I want to work with young people who want to do it, but all they will have to work smart, meaning you'll have to earn income, save, put down money to be able to stay away. Because I always tell them this. Think of it like a farmer. You go up in the mountain, you plant all your fruits and everything, and they grow, and you watch them, and they're nice, and you pick your thing. If it's your men from beach, they know about this. You watch the thing blossom, and you pick it, you wrap it up, you put it on the van, you put it from the van, and you drive down in town to the market, you lay out your thing, and you're ready to sell. You sell. Instead of a time the table will get empty, what you have to do? You have to go back up in the mountain, plant more seeds, grow it again, and come back down. This is a time to go back in the mountain, and this is an opportunity for soca music.
My thing is right.
I
My
know, I
thing is
know,
right.
I
And I'm
know.
talking really.
Voice.
Uh,
Sorry to cut you, but you know I ain't come on here to be on kicks. I come on here to tell it straight, right?
yeah. Now the live need this so you know. Not every night you go kick something and thing. But what I'm saying is right.
Balance is everything.
Sometimes for me the process could be I wouldn't say a lot, but just a little frustrating because it's like you're always trying to do new, but just at the same time you're still trying to stay true to yourself now, right? Like there was a point in time where I believe like 2018 or so when I had full of them kind of thing. I was seeing a lot of comments about voice singing the same song every year, right? In just different words. Now, to me, I personally think that not true because I just take my time and I make sure. Sometimes I
But that
even
is
I
not
think,
true.
well, right. So, but if
But that is not true. That is one comment.
yeah,
Or maybe two.
but what
Or maybe
where I
three.
try, yeah, where I trying to get at is that sometimes I feel like in the soca industry, it don't necessarily have people to turn to now. Like you will talk to somebody, yeah, I am a friends, me and Little Good, me Nadi Good, you know what I mean? But when I talking about like experience like yourself and thing, right? So here my thing, right? Here my thing. Just as this is happening here, I have a relationship with you, and even if in times I say, boy might be busy thing, I could still hail him and whatever, right? But there are lots of other young artists who do not have the connection that me and you have. Them don't have your number, they don't have your email, they know how to reach you, whatever. My thing is, if something, I don't know, I just asking. If something could be put in place where the young artists could see, because honestly, I think that is why so much of the younger ones clinging to Zest and dancehall because they seeing it, they seeing what that life, they seeing what they could do with having a dancehall hit, having a in
Voice.
soca it's as simple as we don't even like to show what we have, right? I remember I do a school thing, and the one of the children asked me, so what else you just do? You just sing soca music alone? How you just survive on that? Like these are the questions that they ask. So it's like, for me, I want to know if it have anything that, especially not just as I say, not just for people like me, but for the younger ones who want to gain the industry, things if it's
Voice.
mentorship programs, things that they could connect to easy now, things that they could something on YouTube, something, you know what I mean?
Let me say it this way. One of my dreams was always to have uh, a music school in Trinidad and Tobago that looked like QRC. Big stone, then big concrete stone and big and royal. And I always wanted to put some of the pan teachers and the calypso teachers and the history of calypso together with classical teachers and vocal trainers and music teachers from abroad to give us the best chance that we have. We have a government that not just a government, but recurring governments, I feel, that don't understand the full potential of culture, that don't understand what culture is. And you could see it in Steel Pan when you're seeing people learning to play 11-minute songs by memory. And they're working in a roti shop or they're driving a taxi or there's a doctor. Almost everybody in Trinidad is a musician. Pan men is some of the greatest things in the world to observe and understand the level of intelligence going in there as a community. But yet we do have a pan school. We do have a pan college. Something like Napa was built. Napa was built to educate young people, and not one day I ever get invited to Napa to step in to help or to talk or to inspire. But I don't wait for school. You could ask anybody in this business. It have few artists reach out to me and bare their heart and say they want to know something. Sometimes Preeti, sometimes Nadia. I want you to observe that in the soca business today, two of the top artists, his name Patrice Roberts and Farmer Nappy. And I walk with that badge on my chest. I proud because those are people that stay with me and listen and observe, and they take the essence of my being, which is work ethic, which is, service to your audience, which is key. Service to your audience is key. And they know I give every artist my rules of when you're making music. What is the deck? Salty, stop fidgeting and listen now. Right? Put on your drinks. This is the deck. You see, when it comes to recording and being an artist, you see the audience is ace. You see the song is king. You see the artist is queen. You see the producer is Jack. You see the writer is 10. And it goes in that order. Once you put the audience first and you understand that I serving these people, let me give them my best. What am I serving them with? This song have to be divine. I have to give it its best. Don't go in there studying yourself. Writer don't feel like the best and I run things because I write the songs for the artists. Producer don't feel like the best because, watch the order, the hierarchy, you call that. Honor your audience because you're putting something out for them and you want to give them the best, whether it's a message or whether it's a wine and jam. Now, I understand you say something about the youths turning to zest and the youths turning to zest. This is a good thing. Let them turn to this music. Let them go to music because they could be going to something else. And we're in a transformation right now. So that I have a lot of people who was in badness, who picking up a laptop and picking up a mic. They trying, they see that way out. Right? This music, as much as it might be sexy and steamy and sometimes a little violent and sometimes a little rough, they're trying to find themselves and they're trying to find their footing and they're expressing it in music. And this music is a reflection of our communities. And it's not it's not to blame them. It is to blame all of us. Why communities suffering? Why people don't have opportunities? Why you don't have education for those who miss the train? Why education must only be about maths, physics, chemistry? Who want to be a lawyer? Who want to be a doctor? Who want to be this? Why we only rewarding that as academic? You know how hard it is to learn a song or to write a song or to produce a beat? This is a reflection of who we are. We have to embrace them and we have to give them the tools. What you asking for, voice, I am that tool. But I so busy holding up the soca market. And when I say holding it up, just setting standards and being a post. And if I only take a carnival of people vex at me, if I say no more Machel Monday, how I will concentrate on what's next if I'm busy doing Machel Monday? You know what I do for the last 2 or 3 Machel Mondays? I don't know if people notice, but I am creeping out the back door and performing less and less and giving my show to Voice, giving my show to Cohen Dubois, giving my show to Farman Happy, to Patrice, to Salty, to all the young artists. I giving them the thing and I trying to back out of the way because, I feel like I could mentor if I get a little more time to set up the right things. I had a meeting in Toko today, I tell you about building a studio, and it's not just a studio. I saying a lot of these soca artists don't have a place to go and mix the song properly. And I'm not talking about all of us working right now. Here we working. You emailing me. I didn't sing One of a Kind studio with you. You went on my KC. I up by Kit. We emailing the beat. Everybody emailing your rhythm. The producer emailing. We barely spending a week together in the studio. We barely getting to know each other. We barely getting to let the essence of my being. Because watch me, when I die, they could say all kind of things. He win this, he do this, he do that, he do the other. They could read a story. But that's not important. What's important is how I make you feel, what I leave you with. What you could tell somebody, boy, I used to sit down next to that man. And that man used to tell me some things that I take with me and I use in Voice. If I had the opportunity to executive produce or co-produce a Voice album with you, we will shock the world. We will shock the world with your talent and me giving my advice and me listening and learning, and we sitting down and we working with the best producers, with Casey and with this one and that one and all your dream team, and we pull some other people. But when are we going to take that time to do that if we're afraid the people in the comments? People in the comments, the social media give us a platform to say what we want. And a lot of people getting feelings when people say what they want. When people say negative things to me, I say they have the right to do that. But I have the right to swipe and delete you or block you and delete you. Because I don't want no negative. Outside of the negative. And if you have the right to say what you want, no, I had the right to remove you. But I'm saying a lot of the comments we frighten to break away to do something worthwhile.
Real.
I just
yes?
No. I have a little small question.
You're gonna remember voice. Just go in your head and you're gonna remember. Just say I will remember. Go ahead, Hakim. Go ahead, Hakim. Go ahead.
Mr. Montano. So it is always, Mr. Montano, how are you feeling? How this make you feel? And how this make you feel? And you are always maybe forced, quote unquote, to say the public answer. But no one really realize and acknowledge that Mr. Montano is human. Mr. Montano, I want to personally ask you, as not as salty manager who you've been dealing with for the past couple of years, but as a fan and as a loyalist, how are you in this state of world and this state of pandemic? And I don't want the political answer.
No political answer. I just come off for 3 hours on Clubhouse, and when I in these platforms, I talk the truth. And that is a very good question because a lot of people have been calling me to do interviews. A lot of people have been calling me to go and lobby the government on behalf of artists. A lot of people have been asking me to speak out. And as a man, a wise man keep a still tongue. And I know when to be quiet. And nobody don't dictate how I feeling. I know how I feeling. When I feel to be out, I out. When I feel to be in, I in. And this is a thing that I read from myself. You can't tell me. I know my program and my chat. I know when Machel, you was out too long. Go in. And I'll go in and I'll know when Machel, you're in too long. You see when I say, no more lonely nights up inside this house. Whoa. Come with me into the streets. This is our time to give it what we got. Oh, boy, just move these happy feet. Because I just want to dance. Say again?
Remember when I bring you on in Synergy Soca with that song and we shake down the place?
Of course. Voice, you don't tell people it's I who boss you. You don't tell people that, boy. The man don't give me no props, boy. Machel busty, boy. Machel is had me when I was in the alien days, boy. Look, I came over alien days. Machel, I bust voice, boy. I don't get. I can't do that to them. My chromosomes are right. I can't do it, boy. I will get a stroke if I try to do that.
He's the only man that couldn't do it. You know, we have to make love for him. Oh, that's how the glove come. He can't do it.
I can't do it at all, boy. No, but let me answer Akim's question because this is a serious question. And a lot of people I talk to know, you have to empathize with a lot of people who suffered during this pandemic. And the artists, I mean, I just sit down in my house and really pray. And I really impress at all the young artists and all the artists how they stay quiet because I know a lot of people lacking the bread. But they get out and they hustle and they do what they have to do. Now I'm telling you, 2020 was my year to lay back, to sit back. You know, 2020 was my year to take a little break. So I had done the necessary things. I do like a squirrel and I save my nuts. I group up my nuts. I hide it in the tree and I went up in the tree. So it wasn't as bad for me. But yet, as I watch it, I go through what every artist is going through, wondering how long I could stay like this without making money or without surviving. And I haven't run out and do a live show or anything because I had enough to hold me by. And what I did too was I kind of pull back and I kind of eat little and live long, live more humble, live less, don't spend, you know? So this pandemic didn't really hit me in a bad way. This pandemic was salty the real on you, boy. This pandemic, right?
What them don't understand about me, I is a focused guy. I focus in.
Very
Continue.
focused. Very, very, very focused. And you're a star. And Travis pick you. And Hakeem pick you. And I pick you. They can say what they want. Forget the rest. Right? The real key is I wasn't affected by the pandemic because I was prepared. And let's just say this. These things in the Bible, certain things will come and you'll be prepared, and certain artists, no bus. The career was no going on a certain level. Voice might have think he's going to have the biggest year this year. So he on a different timeline.
I real course because I don't tell myself well, but I go
all
over the place.
Oh God, 3 million done rest done already. Cool yourself that. He talking about artists like Salty, and them artists like Chappy and artists with no boss. Cool it now, man. Prepare you. Man, run read the Bible and prepare you. Cool it now. Man, talk now.
No, I know what it is. And for some people, like young people who reach 16 and 17 and 18, and this was the time to bust out. They're feeling like if their life crash and they ain't getting a chance to live their life and their life running away and thing. But for me, this fall on one of my, is like a current going so. Sometimes you're going up, sometimes you're going. You can't always be up. You can't always be the best. You can't always be the king. Somebody else will be the king. Nothing that is built up stays up. Everything built up must break down. And life is such. It's birth, it's life, it's death. It's birth again, it's life, it's death. So once you understand your cycle, you could know how to sit down and rest when it's time to rest. And if you read it right, you could end up where I end up. But it's not going to last forever. But guess what? I have young people like all who are learning, all they're doing these shows, I watch all they're using technology. I am not so up on the technology like that. I'm smart, but I really like to spend a lot of time in my mind and my meditation and my heart. So I'm not really online as much, posting as much. But nothing wrong with that. Because when the time comes and I have something to say, I have the team around me will be ready to do what we have to do on social media. But no, it's not that time for me. So the pandemic was a blessing for me because I was able to settle down. And one of the questions they asked me was, what your wife bring to the table? And I was like, all of us was masculine heavy. Masculine heavy, it means we want to conquer. We want to expand. Masculine energy want to expand. Feminine energy want to nurture and want to protect. A woman want to put a picket fence around you. You want to kick down that fence and go by your neighbor and them girls. You understand? That is how masculine and feminine work. And the fact is, all of us sitting down there as men, but the truth is, you have your mother and your father in you, so you're masculine and feminine. And this step back with my wife helped me to become a little softer, appreciate fresh flowers in the house, farm, cook, love, be gentle. Not only, hey, ha, not only that is life too. You have to appreciate the other side, and the pandemic helped me to take a dress back. No, people die, people suffer, people lose loved ones. So it's not all a celebration. But I feel like the artists who time is now, like Voice and Patrice and Nyla and Second Star, this was their moment to work and to do what they had to do because the others will learn from them. Is each one teach one, you know what I mean?
And I always say from out of every bad, a good count, because had it not been for the pandemic, this whole platform would have never be a thing. Vibes and Voicey would have never been a thing if we were still flying. You know what I mean? I would not even be getting to work on my first album. Right now, I'm working on my album too, you know that. And
yep.
at the time right now, we had the time to really get involved in different things and really focus on the music and focus on the album now. So that is why I taking my time to do it. You know what I mean?
You have to go in to come out. So
Yeah.
the pandemic give you a space to go in to come out. You have silence is the basis of all song. Darkness is the basis of all light. And let me tell you something. You see, inactivity or rest is the basis of all activity. You understand?
Yeah.
So if you do have it, if you're on all the time, how you will rest to know or hear what else you want to do. Look how you have expanded yourself. The work and the soca and the gigs contract, right? It contract. It come in, it shrink, but yet you were able to expand your resume and your skill set and what other brands you have to. That is called diversifying. If suppose we could never go back and sing live, some people wouldn't live. But some people who had the opportunity to think and create something, so you can't see it as a bad. Let me tell you something. You cannot go back in yesterday and change nothing.
Nothing at all.
You can't. You cannot leave here right now and jump and fix nothing in tomorrow. The only real moment you have is now. And every time I say no, it gone in the past.
Right.
So guess what? If I say no, you can't change it. It's gone already by the time you try to change it. So why are we trying to change what is happening? Why are we trying to change what the divine doing? We're not in control. The divine in control. So once you put yourself in a way where you accept that and you say, what can I do? What is necessary? Let me help some youths. Let me focus. Let me put out some music. Let me do something. You know, acceptance is key, and we had to accept this moment and be real, do what we could to save people's life, but at the same time, you know, create and become creative. Was all they call me here, all they call me, and when all they call me here, you know, I like to talk.
No, we appreciate it. Yeah. I know telling them fellas off here, I was just on the back and alive, but nevertheless.
I have a question though. I have a question, right? And you something that most artists, I would say globally, they've all been challenged with, especially the seasoned artists, which is reinventing themselves in their career and in the industry, whichever industry they may be in. And that is something you have been doing, I would say, somewhat flawlessly from since you started to now. You've been bridging generations and you've been breaking barriers from the beginning, right? I remember you mentioning as soon as you came on the live that you have 20 more years to come. You still have a plan to go forward. You mentioned that you can't change anything in the past and you can't do anything about tomorrow and your focus is now. So what gives you the confidence as the monk, as Machel Montano, to really say that in this present moment, you know that whatever is to come, you are still going to last and conquer the next 20 years in soca music or just in general?
Because I pay attention and life has showed me that. I pay attention to life and life showed me that. Sometimes when I thought I was at my lowest and I thought this is the end, life showed me this is just a point to stay still and be quiet and accept what it is, and better days are ahead. Life, love life. Life don't love death. Life is life affirming. And once I hear Rasta say life, once I hear and I sitting down and I saying, I have seen this movie already. I see when I was low and when I had nothing. I see when I get licks in road march, when I get licks in Soca Monarch, it's not always win. It's not always on top. It have bottom too, and the bottom is not as bad as the top, because when you reach the top you could cut a hole, push your head through. That is just a next bottom to a higher level. So I understand life. Once you take time to understand life, you will know how it works. You will know that it is always on your side. It's not here to take you out. It's not here to destroy you or to make you fail. It's really here to do what you want it to do. But if your mind weak, and sometimes you see in failure, if you see in failure, failure will manifest. If you see in somebody said the bottom will smell. Oh God. You know, but 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 honestly, Penny, I have that confidence because I pay attention to life and I watch. If people journal, if people really watch back on their life, like that is one thing Suka helped me with. I could watch what years I was good, what years I was weak, what had happened, how long it was, so what did I do to come out of it? And I knew that if I go and I say I don't know where it's gonna happen, but I trust the future. The future is going to deliver once I bring the A game. Once I working with the right people, once I being kind, once I being brave, once I in service of mankind, I know I protected and I know I will succeed.
I had one question.
But not.
I mean, I had personal conversations with Machel plenty times, right?
Yeah.
But I just wanted for the obviously I'm sure a lot of young artists listening, right? I just wanted to what is what investment means to you and how do you invest in yourself? Just for the younger artists that because younger artists think investment is buying clothes, nice car, and having a nice house and things, but it have other things that you could consider as an investment as a young artist. So what you would tell is the most important investment in your career?
In yourself, in your skill set, in diversification. Diversify yourself. When I had started off in soca, I used to say, boy, soca artists had to drive BMWs and I wanted to buy a BMW. And then it had a time when I had a manager, my partner was my manager, and it was Grayson. And me and Grayson decide, boy, my mother and father is my manager, but Grayson is my boy, like my road manager. And I say, Grayson, boy, let me go out and make some extra dollars. Get some gigs this summer for me in New York. And we start to do one set of side gigs besides the official Machel gigs. And we making money. We buying sneakers, Jordan, football jersey, basketball jersey. We just have to buy gold. And when summer come and we look up, all the money gone. And I realize, you could run down money and it will finish. But you see, when I start to focus on let me run down our best product, let me run down our best song, let me run down our best album, money was always there. And what did I invest in? From small, I invest in 7 acres here in Toko. Something I pay 5 cents for, now worth $5. You understand? I invest in my family.
Boy,
Don't do
don't do with them figures.
Don't go on the figures.
Boy, don't do with them figures.
Just say you do your thing. Don't go on the figures.
No, you see that 5 cents and $5. Don't make me feel like that from now. It's gonna raise that 1,000.
No. What I want to say is, what I really want to say is, buy land. Buy land. You see, land will spoil, land will rotten. Right now, I have land, and if push come to shove and I can't do a show, I could sell some land, or I could sell a house, or I could sell something. You understand what I mean? If it reached to that.
I will appreciate I do. No, tell me back and allow him.
Yes, sir. A lot of people been asking, right? Let me ask this question. A lot of people want to know if
the dog don't wake up earlier. You see when the dog wake up, it's trouble.
Yeah. No. It's not a now wake up. Remember, focusing and people asking questions and watching what's going on, right?
Yeah.
They want to know if it will ever have another Machel Monday. That is what a lot of people want to know.
I mean, I can't say that for sure. I don't like to say never to nothing. But Machel Monday, nothing. No. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. I had the alternative concept for 7 years. And then I had Machel Monday for 10 years. And the alternative concept is Machel Monday. But forget the name, forget the rapping. What's the ingredients? What is the ingredients? Remember, I create Machel Monday as an alternative concept. Right? The major concept at the time was to have a brass festival then. Have a brass festival and every band. I mean, we see they show back some brass festival. You're seeing Chandelier, you're seeing Song Rev, you're seeing Baron Lee, you're seeing Charlie. I wouldn't call Charlie Shoes, but most of these bands come on and they're playing the same songs. Atlantic, Traffic. They're playing the same songs and they're trying to outplay one another. And I stand up and I look at it and I say, eh?
Blue Ventures are just adding two bands.
Blue Ventures, Second Image. And they're looking to outplay one another. And I step back and I say, you know what? I want a different concept. I want where an artist could come and perform their own songs. And I give that platform, I'm proud to say I give that platform to people like Kiss, who Machel Monday for about 3-4 years. I give it to people like Sherwin Winchester. I give it to Ben Jai. I help them with the programming, sometimes how to come on and put on a show their own songs. Now that is standard. Now that idea, that concept has become standard. So why do I need to keep doing Machel Monday when that idea is now standard? I need to go into what is next. I already teach everybody how to do that. Everybody already doing their own version. Second Sunday, Tuesday on the Rocks. Everybody understand that to have their own show is key. Voice have his, Ufan have his, Preedy have his, everybody get that. Back in the day, nobody didn't want to do their own show. So all I'm saying is I want to set the example for what is next. And I feel I have an idea of it. I think we need to focus on our product. I think we need to focus on the message. I think we need to really focus on working together, not versus each other. We have a job to do right now. We got to take it to the next level, and we have the opportunity. So it's not about whether it's a next Machel Monday. It's always have a Machel, and anytime Machel decide to step up and come and do something, it will be bigger because Alternative was big, but Machel Monday was bigger.
All right, so boy, so here it is going on. Voicing it is 2:00 on the dot, and we are known as Bacchanal Hours. And I don't know if you ever peeped the live before. But
I peep it.
Right. Personally, for me, real knowledge shed. If you have not grasped the knowledge, then it's because you're deaf in both ears and you don't want to learn. Big man thing, let us firstly thank you for your knowledge and your experience within this life. But this is normally my hour. So this is why I'm gonna bully the whole thing. I'm gonna bully the whole thing. Where the ladder? Somebody bring my ladder for me, please.
Oh yes.
Because Big Man, I know your time now is limited. Because I know Big Man thing as a married man, you're getting cut eye and kuyamo. I know about that.
Hey, listen, my time is unlimited. I live in beyond physical. If you're physical, your time is limited. But if you're beyond physical, your time is unlimited.
Boom again. Teach you that.
Yeah.
Every feel like you get the last girl in the world.
Hey, what is that?
Nevertheless.
Yeah.
Boy, this is where I'm going.
There we go. Let me hear ready for back and talk to them.
I hope, right. This here is where I'm going. You see this here?
I come here to knowledge what sharing, We know all the steam I come into.
You come in the steam. And you see, voice, this is the key. This is the key. When you have a chance to get in knowledge, take in knowledge because life is short. And life could go at any minute. We see that happening right now today. So you gotta know what we need to be doing. I figure that I see you having a lot of fun. And I think that is important, but I also see that you could use the platform to really elevate us right now. I have an issue with listening to radio these days and listening to a lot of radio shows. And I feel like, we have a lot of fight against man versus woman. Woman wicked or little wicked and this and that. We're living in this world where we're trying to wedge ourselves against one another, instead of using the platforms and the times to deal with how we could build one another up. So, I just feel that, radio stations could take a little more responsibility and build. I don't want them to feel that are against them, but we have to use these platforms for knowledge. And Bacchanal is good. Remember, Carnival is Bacchanal, and we're doing Bacchanal right through. We're doing Bacchanal right through. You have to know there's a time for everything under the sun. And this country, women under attack, race is an issue, economics for impoverished communities is an issue. We have real serious issues that we should spend time doing because we had a lot of time whining and jamming and being on Bacchanal. We had a lot of time. Know when it's time to do something, right? But I ain't afraid Bacchanal. So
God. And now chum over all that.
Yeah.
Really put you on that.
No, let me go.
Easy, let me go.
Let me go now.
We want to show them the fun side.
So yeah, it is going on. We have acknowledged this side of the monk for quite some time, not just on this live, definitely not, but we have acknowledged this side of the monk. So yeah, it is going on. I don't want to raise my own Bacchanal. Go if I raise my own Bacchanal, Bacchanal with me.
Yeah.
I want 5 questions from the audience that they always want to know about the monk. And the monk have to answer them.
Yeah.
I don't answer.
Fully agree.
Once is questions with respect, one, and then questions without obscenity.
Real questions.
We want 5 questions from y'all. We're gonna go through the comments and then we're gonna pin the question and answer thingy. Nah, through the comments, you go up because it's a real question.
They actually asking another questions, But you understand, before we go to the questions, boy, you see that thing Travis tweet the other day?
You think what?
Travis make a tweet the other day.
But
wait now, let me tell him from the jump now. Let me tell him from the jump, right?
Go ahead.
So Travis tweet, right? Travis tweet. I just want to reach a point in my life where I can spend $200 on food every day. Right? That was his initial tweet. So a lovely young lady replied to the tweet and said, but Travis, is you produce Soca Kingdom and Pandemonium? Travis replied to her and say, you get on like if it's Drake sing them tune.
Disrespect.
Right? But then when he hear you coming on the live, he come in and say, oh, boy and voice display him the best and ting. But couple days ago, he said, again,
I could give only a Machel answer. Machel, what's the problem in Soca? Any problem is we need the numbers. I remember yesterday.
That's nothing.
We need the numbers.
To eat with $200 TT a day, you need a Soca Kingdom and a Pandemonium. That's all.
No, listen. I hear in Travis. I hear in Travis. Hold on. I hear in Travis, and I hear in voice, and Kim I hear in you. And I will keep giving all these serious answers until they're ready for me to get back on it, because everybody who on social media need therapy. You see, you can't be so sensitive. I hear Travis talk some shit already. I hear Travis say a lot of out of time and thing already. I hear it, but also I know he's intelligent and I know he's young. The key is what he means. Before you study what he say, you're really comparing yourself to Drake. You selling albums like Drake. You selling albums. You making cream like Drake. Travis mean that money is not going to last him 2 years of being able to eat it. And he right. We all try. We all trying to make Soca make more money. And people want to be rich like they living in Dubai.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. You think a Soca Kingdom money can make Travis eat $200 of food every day?
Yes, it
He
can
ain't-
help you, but
he
not,
ain't making
but
that
not
money.
done.
I making that money.
Hey,
You know, it's like- and that is a thing a lot of producers just do. A lot of producers, a lot
You're
of
not
producers want to sing now.
Let me, what you say? Let me hear what you say.
Wait, say them up.
A lot of producers want to sing now because they realize the money in the singing, not the money in the producing. And I will say to them, why you don't go and sit down? Why you don't go and sit down with the artists? Make an album, invest in the artist, make an album, be part of the artist business, be part of the songwriting, be part of the publishing, expand beyond the producer, and you can make money as part of the business. Now, if you just want to build the beat,
Boy, it is 8 minutes past 2. There's bacchanal hours.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
whoso?
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 Maybe whoso?
Which producer was this? Whoso?
Colonel.
I hear Casey.
Class.
Boy, you on top the ladder right now, boy, right now you on top the ladder.
Oh, but
Like
let me go again. Diddy, Swiss Beats.
Come back local.
Come back local.
Of our culture. It's the flavor of our culture.
Our
Come back
culture.
home.
You on two. He name start with P.
He name started with P. With P?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Earlier, I don't know people business. I don't mind people business. I too
Hello.
easy.
No, wait. I go help you with people business.
Call on him. So call name too. Why?
You and as you call it old name. Your second half of Soca Kingdom.
Pronto started that.
Who Pronto? No, Pronto is an artist. Pronto is an artist.
Those are artists. He started.
Pronto is an artist, and I tell Pronto, I say, Pronto, you need to strengthen your constitution.
What?
You need to eat some food. You need to concentrate on being an artist before write and produce.
The way I mean, you had to what?
Eat some food.
You lacking something?
He little weak.
Watch.
No, but watch me.
Yeah.
But watch me. All year. Listen. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Do practice to come out here and laugh at me. You see, Pronto is a big artist, and Pronto will be a big artist.
Pronto is very
Will
bad.
be a
Pronto.
big artist.
I've a track with Pronto on my album, you know. Pronto
is a big artist. So but as I teach him is always about timing. Let me tell you something. Kanye West was a producer. Kanye West was a producer for Jay-Z. I'm on the crash it.
No, we going.
Yeah, nah.
No, yeah, it is going on. They're saying it's my mic. But now switch mic. So I
No.
don't know.
Watch that.
You're talking loud. That's fine.
Yeah,
But when it's
talking
too
loud.
loud, it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Travis has a mic band. They making China tall. Why sure about? Which leads me to my question. I go start the bacchanal. If a mic like this in a South party, what would happen?
Yeah.
They're saying my mic cutting off ever so often. 10 years ago, if a mic like this in a South party, what would have happened?
I walking off the stage.
But
stage.
We'll make it nice. Remember, I buy these mics in the
pandemic. Wait. So you over talking over the monk then?
No. I just
then let the monk answer. I never speak to you. Conscience cool it now. Why conscience not cool it? Yes, here.
wait. Next year, I'll go hear Travis song. When Travis song, boss.
And he gonna be the fifth producer. You feel he beaten? Hands up.
Hands up.
Listen to me now. Akeem. I find your bacchanal soft, boy.
So
Your bacchanal soft.
Boss, you know I playing to keep the relationship between you and Salty. You know, if I really come in, I join.
No, why you holding back then? Why you holding back for?
Boss, don't do that now. We good.
Don't let him go so hard.
Boss, let me attack other people now. I know use my way out. Use the ticket out, boy. Don't do that. So you're gonna leave me in more water. You're gonna leave me in more water suffer. Don't do that now.
Alright. Come talk to me. People, somebody asking me all kind of thing. Come now, man. Let me go. Come. Read them up.
Boss, man. Oh God. Because if I really ask you what my mind asks you, don't do that now.
I seen some questions. Hold on.
Then do it.
I try to keep my relationship.
Somebody say, Machel, you taking the vaccine.
Well, that's a good question.
That's all. Prolong the screen.
Wait now. I see a bacchanal question here.
Let me get the vaccine question.
That's all. Let me get the bacchanal question. Machel Montano. Monte.
Mm-hmm.
The vaccine is started to hit Trinidad and Tobago in mid-June.
Yes.
This, we understand, is the only how you can travel the world coming forth. Are you going to hit the vaccine? Knowing a man like you is so self-medicated, so to speak.
Yeah. I go say yeah.
Self-medicated and self-conscious.
Yo. Right now, I'm watching a frog jumping through my house, yes? Serious, boy. On the ground, boy. A frog, boy.
So wait, any mark for tomorrow? So I know when you call him mark. Where's the mark?
13.
But we see it.
Yes, boy.
Look at it.
Yeah, that's a frog. That's not crapple. That is a frog. That's not crapple.
So any mark for tomorrow?
I'll go and lay him out the house. Look. Oh, go outside. Go outside, son. Go outside. Oh, God. Go outside. Go outside, small man.
Right. Boy, let me ask you, is that the vaccine?
Listen.
Oh,
right now,
I sure man had the vaccine up there.
Listen to me now. Right now, when the vaccine come, the people who are most vulnerable, we have to allow them to take the vaccine, right? The elderly, those who have certain pre-existing conditions.
That's a wait. I'm not even gonna let you go. So it's an experiment then.
No, you have to allow the elders to be vaccinated. It have a queue. It have a order. You can't just run in front of the line for vaccine.
So you line all the elders go first and then you go.
Well, I waiting in line till they say, that time come when people like me right now, I eating neem and turmeric, and I eating Fulfine, I drinking Fulfine and Christmas bush, and I healthy and I good. Right now I good.
And then you coming down.
Yeah. Anyway, more bacchanal, come.
But the best
more question? Hold on.
The best part about Machel taking you on before we here.
It has some bacchanal question here.
Good.
Check the question.
I hope nobody think it's just this what the people ask. I could go here.
Bring it.
Bring it.
You can answer that.
What that question, there, boy?
I want Stevie boy.
Why me and Bungie was beefing in the first place?
You get
I was never beefing with Bungie. I never beef with Bungie. The only time I beef with Bungie is on Soca Monarch stage when they say Pekong and lyrics Machel. I was never beefing with Bungie.
I like
no
that.
I have a.
Look, Travis has something to ask you.
Well, I know the answer to the question, but the people may want to know. Do Machel and Kes have a beef, or are you all not on good terms? Because that's a question a lot of people have asked me. I was like, me, you know.
So you know the answer to the
Well,
question.
let me tell you something. Look at it this way, right? At some point in time, every artist, if they're being honest, have something against Machel. People don't pell tree with no mango on it.
Exactly.
Right? I want you to understand something. If you want to be honest within yourself, every artist who is sitting down there have had an issue with Machel. Every artist had an issue with Machel, something they didn't like, something they feel should have been the other way around. I have never had a beef with any artist. Maybe the one artist I had a beef with at a point in time, back in the day, was Iowa George. And mainly because
Georgie.
And I mean way back in the day when I was young and George come out and sing a song about me, and I really didn't like that he jumped out singing a song about me when me and his friend, but George was really trying to pull me out because at that time he learned a lesson like, boy, when you have a canal and you have thing talking about thing, you just have a good carnival because people talking about you. And I feel he threw that at me, and I really didn't like that. So the Travis, you're asking the Kes question, and you know, I don't know if you want me to be honest or if Ole really could handle honesty or if it will be too much, but I will just say that I never had a beef with Kes. You know, I never had a beef with Kes. I never had anything against Kes. I don't see Kes as is competition. I see Kes as a if I is Pentium 5, Kes is Pentium 6. I see him as an evolutionary part of the oneness of who we are. Right? I could say I was a little disappointed in the position in the year of family, because I feel like I wasn't there, but I hear he had, you know, a little issue with the results and with Skinny and with that and this, and I feel people wedge us apart from each other. When you see competition come, people make Super Blue and Ronnie McIntosh fight have a beef when Super Blue writing Ronnie's song, and this thing is really come from people. We don't intend to do that. But if you have a song in first place and you have a song in second place, they want to put first place against second place. And I'm saying in a situation like Road March, you cannot be part of the competition all the way till the results come and then do like the rules.
Boy.
You can't be taking part in the game all the way till you win and then like the results. That is all. So boy, I was a little disappointed then, but honestly, I love my fellow artists a lot, and you know, I understand how people could feel in these situations, and I have seen competition put us against one another. I have no beef with no artist. I am not that kind of person, and I have endured many people having beef with me, and sometimes having to take a little defensive stance, and sometimes I could be wrong for that, but I partake in it, and you know, honestly, I love everybody.
Added to that question, we understand the Kes part of it. I saw one of the comments scrolling up, and it asked, all right, we understand the part with Kes. What about Sonny Bling?
Sonny Bling. All right, let me deal with Sonny Bling. Let me deal with the Sonny Bling issue. I here to talk the truth. And I know every time I come out and I talk the truth, people will want to go back and answer and tell their different versions of the story.
It but no vibes with voicey. If you're not answering here, answer a thing.
I don't have nothing to hide, and I will always tell the truth because I have been in these situations, and when these situations come up, I just stay very quiet because I know the truth and I don't want to go out there and, you know, pretend like I in the battling narrative. But the situation with Sonny Bling, I'll be honest. When we in the last 2 Machel Mondays, I don't know if people notice, but Iowa George really had some, not the last 2, the previous one before that, had the longest times. Machel Monday, I trying to give everybody a chance. And Iowa wanted to perform that year with all his songs, and he had Savannah, and he wanted to be, you know, out there because Savannah was also a competing song for Road March. And he wanted his moment, you know, and I approached him to be on the show. So I said to him, look, listen, I have a time frame. And I want to keep the time frame. Every artist know that when I'm managing so many artists and so many shows, I want to keep the time frame. And George said to me and George sit down, and George said, look, this is what I'm going to sing, this is what I'm going to sing, this is what I'm going to sing, and I want to bring out Sonny Bling here. And I just feel like in Machel Monday, at the timing that we was having and where he was performing and how long he had, I don't feel it was necessary for him to bring out Sonny Bling to sing about doubles at that part of the show. You have to remember, this is my show.
I agree.
Wait, hold on, this is my show. And I take pride in programming my show. And I have that right. No, I just want to say I didn't feel like it was supposed to be about doubles and thing in that moment. I thought just I would be in there singing Savannah, he'd have mash up and he'd have be gone and we could have get on the rest of the show, and he had some other songs to sing. So that's why I said, when he asked me, when George say, Machel, what about Sonny? I said, no, George, we don't need the Sonny Bling right there in that moment. On the night of the show, he agreed with me and he said, on the night of the show, while I ready to go back on stage, I seen Sonny Bling in a full-on suit with a mic in his hand, standing up on the stage, ready to go out and sing the same thing that we discussed. I didn't want to happen. So right there and then I was like, nah, this is not happening. And sometimes, you know, we trying to keep this show to 4 hours for the last 5 years and going to 5 hours and 6 hours, and people are fed up. If I give every artist the chance to do what they want to do, but you know,
so how you tell Sonny it's not happening? You told
right
him?
right there on the stage. Right there on the stage. I can't remember. I can't remember how, but you see when adrenaline pumping. You see when adrenaline pumping. Hold on now. When adrenaline pumping, and you trying to keep a show like that with thousands of people on point, you just have to do what you have to do in the moment. You know, artists know I just come out and wheel them, right? Doubles nothing. So hear me now. But let me say this. Sonny Bling was very hurt. Sonny Bling is still hurt, right? Sonny Bling, don't talk to me again. He don't talk to me again. And let me just say this. Wait, let me talk now. Akeem, you're talking over the artist. You can't ask me to deal with something. And then you don't want to hear. Let me do, because this is respect and this is truth. This is not bacchanal now. You ask bacchanal, let me give you the answer. Sonny Bling is still hurt. Sonny Bling, don't talk to me. Everybody make it a bacchanal and let go up. And I realized he had on a really nice suit. And that was probably his biggest audience. And he was going to have a moment. And I snuffed it away from him. So that had him real vexed. And whatever happened and transpired, it just festered. I listen and I hear Sonny Bling say things. I hear people say things. I hear them carry on and carry on. I really enjoyed that Barra performance. I, as a man, see it in the village room. And I find it was the funniest thing and it was the best thing I just didn't think it was some Machel money. But I will say this, in hindsight, if I had known it would have hurt him so much, and if I knew it would have go that far, I should have let him just go now. I should have just let him go on and do it now. I should have stooped to conquer. So that in retrospect, when I be a big man and I think back, I just feel like I could have let the show go an extra 10 minutes or whatever. But you know, you live and you learn.
China in your barrack.
Hindsight is 2020.
Hey. Okay, look at my next one here.
Game.
Is it right?
No.
But anyhow,
Low that one.
All
Low that one.
You see?
Up.
All they ask any people to ask the boy. And when the boy say you ready for bacchanal.
Brother, no.
But I thought you say 5 questions. I thought you say 5. That is about 4 already, yeah?
I want 4.
well, I know President. I come on.
Yeah,
Somebody else
yeah.
press it.
China in your barrack, nothing. I the whole bacchanal. Just so. Let me
I'm
go.
going and press it all you moving, man. Why are you holding back? All you do go back now. It's questions.
Yes, no, I come in.
I don't want no part of that.
I don't like the color.
Not that, brother.
Could it you come down now?
The accent for something.
That one? Voice here saying it. I wanted to ask my own thing. What you want there, monk?
If I ever cheat, or if I'm loyal,
Yeah.
In this
You know,
situation.
just watch. What 5 men in the screen here? And guess who pinned that question?
guess who pinned that question? Voice?
By himself. He want to learn how to get out of that situation bad.
But boy, before you even answer that question, the question that they want to pin is they want to know if you ever slapped Sherwin. That would people asking if you ever slapped Sherwin. That's true.
That never happened. I was very much cursing Sherwin in the back there. I was cursing Sherwin backstage because he did a part of our show that we created as part of our show. We put him to sing before us, and he went and do the exact part of the show that he learned from our show. And I was real mad at that, and I went off on him. There was no physical activity, never get hit. That was a big talk around, and again, I was also disappointed that the right people who was there didn't come out and say that never happened. I'm sure if you ask Sherwin will tell you that never happened. It's like Meghan Markle. How Meghan Markle hurt because she didn't make Kate cry, and nobody ain't come out and say she didn't make Kate cry. It's she that cried. Like that.
I actually heard that story already. That's why I didn't press that question. And everybody
that never happened.
So we know that question come from Voice. Have you ever cheated? That kind of cheated thing. Because he want to know how you survive it so long. Oh God. I think that's a. I have one question to ask.
That's a good question. You want me to answer the question or no?
Go ahead, and we can have my question as a bonus.
Yeah, of course.
Go ahead.
How Voice and Penny looking so concerned?
Because them in relationship and
all they flying the plane, all they flying a plane out, all they looking, all they very concerned, like you gonna crash it.
I'm glad you catch them.
They're looking like they're looking like the 2 men in the balcony in the Muppet Show. Don't get excited.
Yeah.
Don't get vexed, man. What they want? What answers do they want?
Drop your bonus now.
Drop your question now. Drop your question now.
My own?
Yeah.
Drop your bonus.
Bonus?
Yeah.
So voice question and answering then.
Well, I want you to answer it something with
Yeah, answer it now. If you ever cheat.
Some relationship thing. I walking out the camera, me neighbor.
What that question mean? If I ever cheat in life? What do you mean?
Nah.
We want to know if you do it before and if you're doing it now.
Yeah,
Let me explain something to all you. I live in with a higher understanding of life. And I will tell you something about life. I am blessed with a beautiful wife who has been my friend for more than 20 years. And we was never boyfriend and girlfriend at no point in time. We was always of a different understanding about our life and how life goes. And I'll teach you something. Today, a lot of people think love means exclusivity. If I love you, I must love you alone and I mustn't love nobody else. That is not the essence of love. Love don't exclude. Love is inclusivity.
So what you're saying is,
I ain't finished saying what I'm saying yet. I ain't finished saying. Love is about inclusivity, not exclusivity. Now I'm just going to drop a pin there and understand that in my life, my understanding of life, it might have a different meaning to what is cheating and what is loyal. To be loyal, I will be true. I'll be my true self. So what somebody might consider to be cheating, I may not. And my wife and I, we understand our limitations, we understand our dedication, and we have a different view of life. We're free from what society think. We're on a higher level. We vibrating on a high frequency.
How you just what saying now? How you just reach there, boy? How you just reach to that understanding? 10 road match?
No, it's not that. Remember, I tell you, if you pay attention to life, life will pay attention to you. If as men, we know we have a weakness and we like to watch girls and we think, but yet we want our wife and we think. You have to be able to sit down with your wife and tell her what your weakness is. And you have to be able to understand. And you also have to know if you want to do it.
Boy, you have to have a first or you have to have a significant other.
What you say?
You have to have a wife first or you have to have a significant other.
Fellas, only go get the best answer from me because let me tell you something. Marriage and wife is institutions and they have that as an institution. You see, when you choose somebody to be a companion, we might marry in the institution where what they call marriage, but we didn't need to sign no paper to marry. We didn't need to, we living together for years, and we just decide to partake in it, and we partake in, but we on a higher understanding of life and love. I reach an understanding that I could live with my wife, we could divorce, she could have a husband, me and she, I could have another wife, all four, we could raise the kids, we could be friends. This is not a thing where, a lot of men can't take it if a woman leave them or don't want to be with them, or if they feel she with another man. People taking people's lives. When people feel like you can't really own a person, you don't own nobody. You're there to give of yourself. Love is not a thing where you just own. Love is a thing where you fall. Fall means you have to be able to lose yourself for them. That's it.
That man deserve a round of applause, man. Studio, round of applause.
I not on them low levels of cheating and loyalty and all these things. Love is inclusive. Watch me, fellas. I love everybody with the same intensity. Right? I love every being, every human being. It doesn't mean I have to be intimate with them. It doesn't mean I have to be intimate with them. But I love them the same.
Because I end up bringing about 3 women on that vibe.
Yes.
I bring about that vibe. I love all of them, but
and guess what?
Shit happen.
And guess what? Some of them go be vexed with you. They love you, but they vexed with you. You really love somebody else, boy. And you can't tell your girl that you love somebody else. You can't. You feeling guilty. You feeling at fault This society makes us feel it's at fault to love somebody else. You could love somebody else. You could love people. You could have a friend who's a girl that you love. It doesn't mean you have to be with her. Or you could have an understanding. You know what I'm saying? This is a different. It's time for us to understand what love really is. Love is not ownership.
Yeah, boy. Take it forward.
Yeah, boy. Steamy question, Akeem.
No, the final question for boy. Anybody else have anything to ask, boy?
Nah, I don't feel like nothing after that, boy.
Nah, I good.
I could say, boy.
No.
I think that's that one day.
Yeah, I boy.
No, Salty, hats off the boy because you are not playing that somewhere. Hats off, not clap. Hats off.
Hats off. You gotta take off the hats.
Off. You must be respect the boy with that, right? Boy,
we vibrating on.
No, you see that jokey hat.
All the losers.
Hey, respect Machel. Hey, respect to Machel. Machel, what's going on? No, that has always tried to put me in the target line, but me afraid. I say nothing big. A question scrolled up the screen and I pinned it in my mind. One person was asking Machel Montano 25 years ago, where did the temper go? And how did you release that temper? I don't know you for a temper, but I read them what to say.
All right. I will tell you this. Remember, I tell you, if you pay attention to life, life will pay attention to you. I keep saying this. I used to catch on real fast. Like I was a little youth who used to go in the police band room in Calypso Monarch practice and thing. And I used to get vexed with big police officers who playing horns and they playing it out at key and thing. And I was 9 years old and I used to stop the band and say, this man playing out the key, and some of them will get vexed and some of them will walk out the band room and say, this little boy can't be telling me this and all this thing, right? And that attitude carry into the band and into my work. I want the work to be so perfect. I want everybody to work so hard. I want them to be so passionate that I used to get a little upset when people not giving their best or when they're making mistakes that I feel we can't make. Listen, we have a level of soca music, and sometimes you listen Calypso and you're hearing some off-key notes and off-key thing and off-key chord and mistake making. I in 1987 I performed in Star Search with our studio band, playing Too Young to Soca, not making a mistake. It have levels of musicianship in parts of the world where they practice so hard, they don't make mistakes. And I was expecting that. I wanted that from our music and our musicians. And I used to come down real hard. And I used to expect them to catch everything as quick as I catching everything. And my mother had to tell me, Machel, you can't expect everybody to catch it as fast as you. You can't be vexed. And after a while, everybody's saying, boy, Machel is real, because Machel is good, Machel is this, Machel is this. I pay attention to them and I listen to them and I say, you know what? Maybe I could allow some mistakes. Maybe I could just leave it alone. Maybe I could sit back and not get vexed. And I just try to make that change in myself, because you have to be your own critic, but you have to listen to people. You have to listen to people sometimes and take heed. And I just decide to, to ease up on that. And another thing is, when you get angry, you're only poisoning your own system now. It has certain elements that raising your blood pressure, certain enzymes that releasing that poison in your body and your liver and you decide that. So when I start to respect my life and realize I had to grow beyond that and become, more accepted.
So I say that, it ever had any moments, anybody ever show back talk or tell you something? Because, like for instance, right, I was in UEFET. When you no, wait, now, let me talk. I was in UEFET. This is when you had Ministerial Road, right? And I think Kamau missed one. I think that was Kamau first time, right? I never figured that. We was rolling with them there, so we was there, we was backstage, pick up FB. Right? And you say, but Kamau, you ask, you say, Rice, you see when I do things? Rice say yes. You say, Darian, you see? Darian say yes. You say, Dwayne, you see what I do? Everybody in the band say yes. You say, come on, how you alone and see what I do? He said, so you don't want to do this. It means give me more. So you never see the video. You don't have cable. Remember, you tell them all that on stage, right?
Yeah, of course. Listen to me now. But Rice wasn't there because Rice wasn't there.
Quick to hire.
Yeah, that we say.
Slow to hire, quick to fire.
Slow to hire, quick to fire.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Right on stage.
Slow to hire. Listen. Kama was a real talented musician, and at that point in time, a lot was expected of him. He was coming in hot. He was coming in hot. Right? He was coming in hot.
Boy, all that time come out pepper buzz. Boy, all that time come out pepper buzz. Don't remember that.
I don't understand, right? I don't understand how they're asking questions in this forum and not giving me a chance to answer. That's it, right?
All right, go ahead.
That is not a fair thing to be functioning. If you ask me, let me answer.
All right, go ahead.
You're gonna look to put the people against me. That's a strong point. Don't do that. I answer. Goodbye. Kamau, nothing.
Kamau is a great musician, but Kamau was coming in to our show having to learn about 95 different functions on that night. The only way Kamau kill himself is Kamau tell me he's the best and he could handle it, and he couldn't really handle it at that point in time. It was not nothing. You will go through this plenty. Tell a man who has played trombone, right? And I bring him to play in the band. And the first show when he started playing pop, 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 and making mistake, right? Pop, pop, pop. And I watch him so. By the next day, he get fired. 2 days after, I see him in traffic playing and playing good. Trombone will tell you about that. He's still playing. These days, I think he's playing for the Linadan, right? Trombone will tell you that. Sometimes men come in our space and there's Machel and there's everybody on you and they get too nervous and they can't handle it. You win some, you lose some. That night he didn't win.
That big loss. That was going with the assassin or he end up leaving. You tell me come see me. You tell me come see me. You tell me come see me.
Ole, let me understand something. In life, right? In life, you will have a job, and sometimes you will be handling it well, and sometimes you will not be handling it well. If you're not handling your job well, do you expect your boss to keep you there?
If I was handling it well before and maybe I came under pressure for some other reason, yeah, and he know my capability, he may keep me. He's not obligated to, but he may keep me because he know my ability of handling my job. Yeah.
But if you needed some time, if you needed some time to get yourself together, if you needed some time to get yourself together.
Well, up to now, you back you the time.
Eh?
So sing me the time.
Sing is a great DJ. Sing is a great DJ.
Big up you. Boom again. Big up you. You see you. I rested on my mic. I done, boy.
You see that one?
Really,
catch him up.
MOB have a bacchanal question. They're asking about Umi.
Who is this?
MOB is the bacchanal page.
You see, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. A lot of people wouldn't understand me, and every time I go to talk, I know only want to know these questions, and everybody want to know these questions. And I don't want this to be a forum to cry down individuals. That is not positive, right? Because let me tell you something. Umi was one of these super talented artists that who worked with me, I had certain issues with Umi when we sit down to write and work. Sometimes you're so good. I used to tell Umi the same thing. He's so good. He could sing and do all kind of fancy thing. But people can't sing it. People can't sing it. So I used to say sometimes you have to take that potentiality that you have and just dial it down a little bit. You know, not dumb it down, but dial it down. Use it sparingly so that it could be sing by other people. People have to be able to sing a song. If you could sing a song away, people can't sing a song, how they gonna like a song? Right? So that was just my advice to Umi. And at the time, Umi had to kind of learn that and go through that. Just the other day, I see Umi come with a song and it real best. Every time Umi come, Umi is progressing. People always want to start a bacchanal. You're not always in something. You're not always in something to be together forever. You're not going to be together with your parents forever. You're not going to be together. You might be there until death. You might be there. There is times when people have to grow apart. But I rate Umi and I respect Umi and I'm not vexed with Umi. And this shouldn't be our focus. Our focus shouldn't be why I fire this one, why this one I there again, why that one. I let Farmer and Patrice become individual artists because I thought that is what would have been best for them. And it was the right thing. Was it the wrong thing or was it the right thing?
Like Voice and Korean full blown on them.
Yeah. Was it the right thing? Only listen, life is such. You don't always have to be together with everybody physically to be together with them. You could be in your lane, I could be in my lane, and we could support each other and we could be successful. That's it.
So if Umi come with the right collab tomorrow, you're doing the collab with him.
Anybody come to me with the right collab. You know why? If anybody comes with me with the right collab, I doing it because the audience is ace. And if it's good for the audience.
Boy, I see Umi comment. He said, did you ever slap him? I guess he wants to clear the air on that.
No, never. Never. At no point. That is the first thing everybody like to you see, this is the petty things that people want to concentrate on and base on a certain artist, you know, and spoiler cred. There was never nothing like that. There was never nothing like that.
You see?
You know?
People been on that a while.
Big facts. Yes. Really is.
People like to feel everything end like that and feel everything because that is a story to sell. And that is how they could pull him down or they could pull me down. And this, we don't have time for doing this in life. If you're doing that to people, you're doing that to yourself. So the key is, I was going to say something, I forget, but I just wanted to say that, I was talking about Travis' question. If anybody come to me with the right song, the song is ace. So if the song, if the song is the right song, I dare to do it.
Is ace. The audience is ace.
The audience is ace, sorry. So if it's good for the audience, I dare. Then if the song good, then I dare. You understand?
The song is.
And you see now when we start to go into that negative, you will see everybody in the comments want to be on negative. And you will feed into carrying down the essence of your show and the essence of your platform will go down to a level that, we really talking about things that do exist.
Sorry. We will take that advice because the comments say this be real job.
Everywhere.
Boy!
The comments when you're all your and voice, all you have to be responsible. All you have to be responsible to know that all you're creating that environment. If Akim out here and Akim want to be cussing and Akim want to be doing certain things, it is reflective of your responsibility to, because I watch a couple situations where they find all themselves in that all your lady platform for it to happen. And then when it happens, you remove yourself from the responsibility.
Yeah, that come out,
Boy, don't do that now. So why?
Right?
Boy, so why? On this example.
All you hearing me? All you hearing me? All you hearing me? All you understanding me? All you hearing me? Or again too real? Again too real?
Nah, man.
Nah. You talk your thing now. You talk the things now. You talk the things.
Too real. It's dangerous.
Boy, listen. Boy,
you tell them to real beat the air, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
boy, listen.
Yeah, boy. Way, boy. Sad, eh?
I want to hurt him, you know. I want to hurt him, you know.
That
Boy,
one hurt me bad. That one hurt me bad. That one hurt me bad. But it only hurt me. It only hurt me for a second. You know why? Because we not to have one too. You can't want all for yourself if you get beat once. The greatest lesson my mother, ever teach me. Hold on, talk it. Walkie-talkie, hold on, actually.
That
Right?
is a
You're
new
like
name.
a walkie-talkie. Right? You want to tell Travis he talking over your voice, he talking, and you talking over everybody. Hush. Right? The best lesson my mother ever teach me is how to lose. It is the greatest lesson. She said you must lose with honor, you must lose with dignity, you must walk over and congratulate the winner, you must do not. The judge's decision is final, and hold up your head and live to see another day. Not gravel and worry and cuss and hate the man and be vexed with the man and whatever. It go hurt you, yes, because you want to win. Everybody want to win. Yeah. But some other people have to win too. You feel me?
Correct. That's why I come out.
Exactly. And that will be one of the greatest lessons you can lose. And voice. People know you do that. People know you do that. I hear them say that. You jump out, you dip out because you don't want to lose.
Yeah, what I sure about. Yeah, you see how he stink because I link him that year. I didn't call it that year.
To do what? To come out on stage?
No, but the year when I was born out of the soca monarch, before I made the decision, we already made. And myself, but I say, let me call her elder. That was one of the times I reach out to you for advice. And you say, voicey, if you know to your heart, you don't want to prove again, do thing up.
Yeah. That is facts. That is facts.
Because
and that is true. But
I love to overput. And if the competition given 500,000, I'm spending 450 because I must win.
Yeah, but if you did win again, that you're overbeat thing. But
let me, but voice, you just you just say that's why I come out. I don't like to lose, and I think there is a little percentage of that in all of us. There's a little percentage of that in all of us. Let me quit while we are ahead. You understand what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong with that. For me, it just didn't make sense. Continue. And giving myself an opportunity to lose. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Of course. And that is key. That is your decision too. That is your prerogative. So at the end of the day, I just want to let people know that sometimes learning to lose could be the best thing that happened for you. If you could keep your composure. Feel me?
Goodness. Well,
Ayosh. The dog hush me.
Machel,
let me
my Mariana today. I have a bigger prerogative. So, hush, boss, is
fingers on lips.
All I had to say is by the next carnival, for sure, I spend 200 on food every day because that road man, me and boy had it. Sure.
He laugh.
Watch Papa. Papa Bonza laugh again for me. Papa Bonza again for me. Papa Bonza laugh again for me.
And I tell you something, Travis. If you're eating $200 a day in food is your objective, you could become obese. You could eat $50 a day in food, green fig, right? And dasheen and bhaji. And you could spend $100. You could spend $100. You could eat $50 a day. You could spend $100 to feed 2 other people, and you could save 50. That might be a better goal.
Big up Trevor Sales. Boom again.
Stamina.
What's it before you go?
I know a little like me, no. All if I'm not talking too much consciousness, but that is cool.
We like your
you
vibes.
matter.
We like your vibes.
I tell you that
We
when you
just
want me to come on, I coming on to talk the things.
Now we just prefer talk to backstage. When again the answers we looking for now.
No, because
Right.
I know it a lot. You're playing a call and we walkie-talkie. You see how everybody fucking up.
You see,
It's
watch me. Akim, you're sensitive.
No, I'm not sensitive. Let me dog
You're
that.
sensitive. You're sensitive. Let me see, make sure my volume up. You're sensitive. Go, I tell you that.
Loud.
Well, you talk out my iPod just.
But we're not. But you are a button like me.
Yeah, Machel, before we wrap it up, we just want to say congratulations on your album again, The Wedding.
Mad.
Right?
Respect.
And overall, I know the whole idea of the album is about love and, I guess the whole journey and the process and that kind of thing, right? Yeah?
Well, the whole album is some songs where it's at the party from fetting and jumping and waving and whining. The messages, there's messages of love in there. There's a lot of fun in there. It have little vibes. I just really want this to be a soca album that you could put on when you're lying down with a significant other and listen all the way through. You're driving to Mayaro, you're just chilling by the beach together and you could just listen to some songs and understand it. This is a chance for me to be able to show that I could turn a corner, you know what I mean? And I could try something new. And I want people to go out and get tomorrow night. I'm having a listening party on my live 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Go on my live Facebook. I think we're linking up all the platforms just to listen to the album. And right now, the album out on all digital platforms. So check it out.
Was it Saturday or tonight?
Saturday night, sorry. Saturday night.
All right, nice.
Saturday night.
All right, nice. All right.
The voice.
All right.
So voice, you're doing your thing. And I know you're a fellow that think hard. And I want to congratulate you. Congratulate the team, what all they're doing. It is important to keep it going. I just feel that sometimes to make sure you use the platform for we uplift, especially our fellow artists, because this is a rough time for us. And I be thinking about all the artists and how they make it out. And I just want to say I'm really proud of how everybody band their belly in the pandemic, still deliver music, still try to do something. I wish the fans out there will really understand how tough it is for artists in this country to keep producing music, keep spending money on songs and productions and this and that, and we're doing it for them, you know what I mean?
Goodness.
Yeah, man.
We was not expecting you to stay for so long, We thought you would give you 15 minutes and bust out.
You see, that's why you could never expect what you expect with me. What people think. You can't dream of what you can't think of.
Anna, pick up the dog on the horizon.
I going upstairs right now and wake up my wife and we're gonna watch Netflix and we're gonna sleep late and we're gonna get up and still meditate and life is great.
I go in and try that when
don't say I'm a wife.
No, I'm not talking about that. Listen to me now.
But
let me talk now.
You're going to try what?
Listen to me. Akim, the man now said, you do not have to love one.
No.
Is
watch me. Voice. You have to also understand what is good for the goose is good for the gander.
It's not good for the gander.
No, wait. I know what the man say. Where say what is good for the goose?
What is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Oh, you saying is not. You don't even know the people.
So men can't want to live one life and lock down their wife to not live the life they want. This is our understanding. I just want you to say that love had to be across the board, and you have to know when you dedicate yourself to somebody that you're there for them forever. In whatever they want to do, you're supporting them too. You don't know.
Watch now, I had one more thing to ask you. Right? Sorry, to go back to the album, but you had how many albums before? This is your what album?
Boy, I wish I could tell you. I wish Yeah,
That's
man.
So, yeah. So my question to you, I know it's a lot of albums, right? But my question to you is, what are your expectations for this one in particular?
No expectations. This is definitely no expectations. This album is just expression. I do have songs that I think, I looking to see what radio play get or what sales. This is not about sales. This is about expression. This is experimental ideas. This is an introduction to me working with people like Stacey Bart, who write Brown Skin Girl for Beyonce. We have a song in there called Getaway. This is me working with Ban Cooley as an African artist, and we forming a collaboration. Ban Cooley sing.
Some of them,
Huh?
you can lend me some of them link on them where they like the Stacey
Of
back.
course, but it's not a lend. I here to open, I introducing them to soca. Most of the people I work with in soca, when I work with them, they end up working with many other people. One of these songs on the album is by DJ Tunes, who's Wizkid DJ, and that is a song with Stacey Bart, and that is one of a rhythm that he have Kesson, Olatunji get on it, GBM get on it. I think you were supposed to be on it, so anybody I bring into the fold, I don't have to learn you. They did. I bring them in for our usage, for our collaboration, for all of us to work with them. This is not a ownership thing, and it's some really critical people. This album is just the introduction. Go on there. They have a surprise interlude on there that nobody will ever expect. She do us interlude for me for this album. If you go and you dig down in it and you hear the voice, tell me who you think that voice is. But a lot of people already figure it out because they listen to it, and people in Paris call me already for the night and ask questions about it. This album is just me expressing myself. It's not the city trying to sell a million or trying to think. I want a signal that it have people I want to work with, have Afrobeat working it, have me building a relationship with Teddy Riley, who I believe is a genius, and getting his interest in soca music. Teddy's the man who make New Jack swing. Teddy's the man who, do SWV, Bobby Brown, Guy, the Black Street. The kind of levels we need these men to look at soca and want to work with all the other artists, and that is just always my objective.
Goodness.
So go and check out the album, and of course I want people to take away the message of love that flowing through the album. I put a couple soca vibes there, like the Vibes Cartel and the and Play Harder. To still make people have a little soca party, but a lot of it is us experimenting and me, introducing people like Stacey Bart and giving her the lead on the song. Like how Biggie Smalls do More Money, More Problems, and it had Mace, and it had Puffy, and then it just had Biggie in the end. It have collaborations with me and Choppy, because Choppy and I working, and I know how hard he working, and I believe in him. I don't think he is the voice of the second side, because voice and second side is no, but I looking down the line again and trying to invest in that situation, you know what I mean? So people like Lucity, you hear these songs we have on there is Afrobeat. The album have a lot of interesting collaborations on there.
All right, King. Well, give thanks for being here on the live. I mean, it's been a long time, and we appreciate your knowledge. We appreciate everything that you said on the live tonight.
Mostly we appreciate your time.
Respect.
Yeah.
I appreciate the opportunity to spend time with all you, and as I say voice, a lot of people might think they can't talk to Machel, they can't come and talk to Machel. But I am, if you ask anybody out there, whenever they pick up the phone and they ask me something, I stay on the phone with people for hours. I give up myself, I talk to things. That is known. That is not a myth, that is a fact, and you can ask enough people who will tell you that.
Goodness. And we appreciate that. We appreciate. Anybody have anything else to say before?
They say Penny real quiet tonight.
More times, buddy, I appreciate your knowledge, and mostly I look forward in coming to Togo when you invite Travis and we coming up the road quietly, not.
We definitely working on making this space available for artists to come, spend time, rest, rejuvenate, share ideas, ask questions, figure out things, practice yoga, swim on the beach, hike. We be preparing a space that you could expand yourself now. You know what I mean?
Boy, I'm not talking about that time. I'm talking about time before you make that space available. I talk about.
But that old talk.
Oh God!
When Akim, when you get the vaccine.
I have one question. So the wedding was the end of Machel Monday, right? So you want to give your ideas? What's the next move, boy? Because we know we need something like that. So we want to know what's the next move.
He was outside.
I was outside.
Yeah,
right.
So ask that question.
Well, just to let him know. Just to let him know.
Yeah.
You know, I can't tell you what is the next thing. You know, we playing with ideas. We had the Mayday Cruise as an idea with Tribe. That's still on, but we have to be mindful of the pandemic and the cruise industry. We have another idea that will be introduced about that we pivot to, and we're trying to figure out. So, you know, but for us, in terms of what will replace Machel Monday, there is no replacement. I am going on a journey to find something, and when I'm ready to present something, I will know what it will look like then. If I knew what it looked like now, it wouldn't be the future. It will be past. Only if it unknown is the future, and I like to keep things like that until I know it.
Let's just extend the future from the past. Just clap and show him again because he missed that.
Yeah, did you line up the Travis?
Yeah.
Come on.
So you're not going Friday.
Much respect. Yo, all you log on to the listening party tomorrow, Saturday night, on my live.
Yeah.
Big Mob.
If
all you need any drops, Machel Montano is on Cameo right now. You know, so.
How much? So.
Diving? You're diving?
I am.
How much for a drop, for a shout out? How much for a shout out?
Yeah, what's some sort of
What's that? Wait that, boy. Voice song like Saturdays?
Yeah.
How much for that? Shout out, Machel Montano.
Watch me. My price sliding. It depends on if I behind the mic today or if I in the bush. And if I in the bush and you want me come out the bush for your wedding or for your birthday or for your anniversary, I might come out. If my price sliding, you know what I mean? But right now you could get me good. You can get me good. I have a lot of happy customers. Today alone. Big up yourself.
Boy, again, I don't like them DM me for the price.
He good enough.
Boy, we don't like that DM me for the price. Yeah, with the price.
But if you just go and log on Cameo, you will see my price.
All right, I'll be
good. Log on and you will see my price.
I sure somebody here going to post the price tomorrow. When I repost it, you better repost it.
Well, I want you to promise me something. Check out other prices too. Just check out other people's price too. Check out mine and check out other people.
Yo, big man thing, we're leaving now. Boy, just give us a verse of your favorite Machel Montano.
Anyone or one from the album?
Anyone. We leaving now from the album.
From the album.
Yeah.
I just wanna live.